How our local school districts to do is say, if you're a great teacher and your kids do well, we're going to compensate you. If you don't perform well, we're going to mentor you and help you, and if you continue not to perform well, quite frankly, we're going to replace you. Everywhere else in life we pay for performance. It's about time we do it in education. Along with education, we need to help when it comes to health care, but not the way they're talking about in Washington. I don't know about all of you, but I, for one, don't want the federal nor the state government telling me or my family what we do with health care. The best way to control health care costs is to get government out of the way, to move forward with market-driven solutions, not government-driven mandates. When I'm governor, we're going to push to join the federal lawsuit to opt out of that and say Wisconsin is the only way when it comes to health care. And finally, we've got to have a great infrastructure system in this state. That means cost-effective and reliable sources of power. That means water and telecommunications, particularly in our rural areas. And most importantly, that means a transportation system that's based on fixing our roads and our bridges and not on wasting $810 million of our taxpayers' money building a so-called high-speed train line between Milwaukee and Madison. Jim Doyle and Tom Barrett are wrong. When I'm governor, we're going to derail the train and spend the money on our roads. Now, I believe so passionately about those ideas, I put a number to them. I believe if elected as your next governor, we can enact those things. We can help the people, not the government, help the people of this state create 250,000 new jobs by the end of our first term. That's 250,000 jobs by 2015. Now, when I first put that number out, I was in Madison. You can only imagine. It was like dropping a nuclear bomb on top of the Capitol. I mean, the liberals went crazy. The media went wild. I repeat myself. Liberals, media, help me along there. Even the other Republican running said it can't be done. Can't be done. Well, I got a little experience with naysayers. You see, 8 years ago, the naysayers in my community said, you can't elect someone like me. Republican had never been elected, ever. Not in 20, not in 30, not in 40, ever. They said a fiscal conservative in our county can't win. We won not once, not twice, but 3 times. The last time was 60% of the vote in the county, went 2/3 for Obama. How about that to the naysayers? 8 years ago, the naysayers said you can't balance a budget without raising the property tax levy from the previous year. And yet last fall, we did that for the 8th consecutive time. In fact, we did it the old-fashioned way. We cut our debt, reduced the size of the government workforce. Because of that, our bond rating went up even while the states went down. And a year ago, when the state of Wisconsin had its largest budget deficit ever, we actually had a surplus. Now, along the way, we improved services as well. You know, we run the airport. In fact, you guys, we got some friends of mine who we were just talking tonight for the first time, but for many years we're living down in Oak Creek near the airport. We run an airport in Milwaukee County. They've now been great enough to join you on up here. But the reality is we run an airport, and because of the investments we made over the past 8 years, we officially have the fastest growing airport in America. Fastest in America, 3rd fastest in the world. We've got nearly 1,000 new private sector jobs in the airlines related to that. In other areas, we used to have a waiting list of 3,000 older adults waiting for long-term care services before I took office. Today, not one senior in my community is on a waiting list for long-term care. And it's hard. And it's hard to believe in an area called Milwaukee County, but we have 15,000 acres of parkland, 150 different parks and parkways, and last October, we won the gold medal for the best park system in the United States. The reason I tell you all that is not to brag. Well, maybe a little. But it's not so much to brag as it is to tell you this. If we can take on the political machine down in Milwaukee County and win not just at the ballot box, but win in how we govern, there is no doubt in my mind together we can take on the political machine in Madison and win for all of the taxpayers of this state. I got to tell you, I believe in Wisconsin. I know we can do it. When I travel this state, I do brown bag lunches and tours and go all over the state, from factories to farms and businesses and everything in between. I find people who embody the Midwestern work ethic. The kind of people you build not only your company around, but ultimately your community and your state around. We've got employees in many cases who are 2 or 3 or 4 generations deep of family-owned businesses. And for those that aren't, they treat their employees like family. And they're vested here. They got roots here. But more often than not, they're telling me, no, they're begging me to get the government out of the way so they can add more jobs to work in the for people to work in the state that they love.
Right on.
We're a state blessed. We're a state blessed with abundant natural resources. Think about it. No other state in the Union is surrounded by 2 Great Lakes and the greatest river in the U.S. We're filled with 15,000 inland lakes. That's 5,000 more than Minnesota. Eat your heart out, Brett Favre. You know, for my money, having grown up in a small town and now living in the largest county in the state, I got to tell you, big or small or anywhere in between, there is no place in the world better to grow up in, to live in, to work in, to play in, to raise a family in, to build a business in, to someday hopefully retire in. There is no place in the world better than our Wisconsin. What I found traveling this state for now, just a little bit over a year, seeking to be your next governor, is simply this. What is failing us is not our people or our places. What is failing us is our government. And the good news I tell you tonight is we can do something about that.
Yeah.
Come November 2nd of 2000.